Welcome to Redbank Valley High School for tonight's matchup with the Redbank Valley Bulldogs is the homestanding team in white against the Clarion Bobcats. I get confused now with the Clarion Bobcats and Wildcats, but I guess we're just Wildcats for football. And so, obviously, on the basketball floor, still keeping that name, the Bobcats. As far as I know, I believe so. So we are going to you're going to hear the announcements and you're going to hear the anthem. As always, we're going to give you a taste of that, is what you would typically get if you were here. And then you will hear the starting lineups, and we'll be back with you right after that. All right, our first live anthem of the basketball season, as Coach Marshall's daughter, Maddie, sang that. Getting ready to tip off here at Redbank Valley. And Matt, really a matchup tonight with a whole bunch of athleticism on the floor. I think that if you enjoy watching athleticism and run and gun basketball, this is a game that you'd enjoy to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Three returning all-conference players just in basketball from last year with Cal German. First team all-conference basketball last year, and then for Redbank, Bryson Bain and Chris Marshall. Another player for Clarion who has been out for most of the season, Ethan Burford, If you looked at the paper back in the fall on any Saturday, you probably saw that Burford had at least 100 yards receiving and 2 or 3 touchdowns about every game. So
yeah, and speaking of football, with the 2 teams combined, and 3 of them are on the floor now, we have a total of 4 All-State football players on the floor tonight. Right now on the floor, you have Mansfield, who's 3-time All-State. Cal German was a first-team All-State quarterback this year. And also All-Staters for Clarion were Ethan Burford and Bo Verdil. On the floor to start for Redbank Valley, you have Marshall, Mansfield, Gardlock, Maginati, and Bain. On the floor for Clarion, you have German, Verdil, Simcoe, Craddock, and Smale.
And obviously with all those athletes on the floor, it transitions into a lot of wins. Currently, Redbank Valley 9-4 on the season. Clarion with a record of 10-4.
Yeah, first possession fruitless for Redbank Valley. Clarion comes the other way. Clarion obviously led by Cal German as he lays it up and in there for 2. Cal, the standout quarterback for the Wildcat football team, and obviously the standout player for the Bobcat basketball team. Bain at the top of the key, gives it over to Marshall, back to Bain. Bain takes the long 3, in and out, no good. German down the floor, but Bain's there.
Both teams like to push the ball. We could have a very high-scoring game tonight, Blaine.
Verdil's shot doesn't go, gets the rebound, feeds it out. Smale's shot doesn't go. Ball goes back to German. German's going to drive. He's going to kick it out too. Ball's going to get lost. Maginati's on it. And no timeout called, so we have a jump ball. That's going to stay Redbank Valley possession.
Clarion ball.
Clarion ball, excuse me. Going to stay Clarion possession. German's going to inbound it. He's going to get it into Simcoe. Simcoe feeds it out to Verdil, who buries it for 3 to push the lead to 5. Chris Marshall's going to drive, and a nice block by Verdil. Feed it down to German, and German puts it in for 2. So we said at the top, athleticism on full display here, and Clarion definitely showing that off the bat, jumping out on a 7-0 run here less than 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, these 2 teams met earlier in the year up at Clarion. Clarion came away with an 82-67 victory in that game.
And I think that you had some Redbank Valley players down the stretch get in some foul trouble. I believe Chris Marshall fouled out early in the fourth.
Yeah, I think Chris was out for most of that second half.
Joe Mansfield fouled out. And so obviously when you have a team that doesn't go that deep as is, even a 6th, 7th guy like Mansfield's going to make a difference. Timeout called here.
You're looking at these 2 teams playing, obviously both trying to get ready for the playoffs, which started in less than 2 weeks. Redbank a double-A team, Clarion only a single-A team, but if you look at the enrollment, Clarion misses being double-A by only 2 kids.
2 kids.
So we could actually have, Clarion, Keystone, Karn City, and Redbank, just those 4 KSAC teams in double-A. If Clarion had 2 more kids, what a strong playoff bracket that would be.
Yeah, this is, again, we've talked about this before. I imagine this would be a night that if fans were allowed, you'd have a pretty decent crowd here for this one, not just because of the natural rivalry between the 2 teams, but again, each team just boasting so many athletes on each side. Fun game to watch. Bain's going to inbound it to Marshall. Marshall's going to give it back to Bain. It's going to make its way down to Gardlock, and he's going to drive the baseline and lay it in for 2 to get Redbank Valley on the board, 7-2. German's bringing the ball up. He's going to feed it over to Simcoe. Simcoe's going to give it to Verdil. It's going to make its way back to German. He's going to dribble. He's going to go between his legs. He's going to feed it out to Smale. Smale's looking inside, doesn't see anything there. He's going to give it back up to Simcoe at the top of the key, and it looks like they're going to reset with German at the top. Feeds it into Verdil. They've got Gardlock on German as he fades away for a long 3, does not go. Chris Marshall with the rebound, pushing it up the floor to Gardlock, back to Marshall. Marshall's going to take the 3, does not go. Mansfield gets the rebound. Bain resets the offense for Redbank Valley. He takes the long 3, does not get it to go. Chris Marshall with the rebound. Shot doesn't go. Nice hustle on both sides there. Eventually makes it way back to Gardlock. Maginati in the corner for 3. Gets it to fall.
Yeah, that's Maginati's shot over there in the corner.
Yeah, anybody that watches games knows that Maganotti likes to take those shots from there. And we're going to have our first foul of the night as Simcoe's going to go to the line, drawing a foul from Redbank Valley's Chris Marshall. So a whole rush of activity on that last possession. Redbank Valley missing 3 shots, getting their own rebounds. Hustle play at about midcourt, feeding it back in for the points. Simcoe's first does not go. He will have a second. Pence checking in for Redbank Valley. Joe Mansfield goes to the bench. And we have, it looks like, turn to the side here, we've got Burford checking in for Clarion. No, excuse me, Alston checking in for Clarion. Gardlock with the ball at the top of the key. Marshall and Bain with him at the top. Ball's going to be given to Marshall. 8-5 lead for Clarion. Bain's going to dribble. He's going to drive to his left thanks to a pick by Gardlock. Swing it back over to Marshall. Ball is deflected by Craddock, and it's going to be picked up by Alston as he brings it up the floor. Verdale's going to dribble and drive, and he's going to lay it in for 2.
Nice move by Verdale. Shielded the defender off with his body.
Clarion has doubled up Redbank Valley right now, 10-5. Gardlock with the ball at the top of the key. He's going to dribble to his left, give it to Pence in the corner, swing it to Marshall to his right. Marshall's going to take the shot, and he's going to hit it. So that's Marshall's first tray of the night to go with Maganotti's tray. Right now it's a 10-8 Clarion lead. German's going to drive. He's going to feed it over to Craddock. Shot's not going to go, but the putback does go. And we have a timeout here, Redbank Valley. So 12-8 right now. And I think exactly what we said at the top, a lot of athleticism on the floor. Don't blink, you're going to miss something. And both teams have been up and down the floor pretty quickly.
Looking at the playoff picture a little bit, Blaine, if you look in the AA classification for boys, Carn City, definitely the #1 seed right now. They have a record of 14-1. With that loss this week earlier to Keystone, Redbank probably drops down to probably the 4 seed. It looks like Coudersport at 8-2 and Keystone at 8-3 will be in that 2-3 zone seed, and then Redbank at a 9-4 record will be the 4 seed if things play out. Other teams look like Smethport at 7-7. Will be playoff bound, and even CL could be dangerous at 6-8. They have a couple nice wins lately, and then Ridgeway at 3-5. They really like to slow it down. So a really good AA bracket this year in District 9.
Gardlock brings the ball up the floor for Redbank Valley. He's going to dribble to his right, feed it inside to Bain. Bain's just going to miss the layup. German getting the best of Gardlock on that possession. That's going to be an interesting matchup to watch all night. Gardlock defending German.
Yeah, you got the best defender
feed
for
it to
Redbank.
Pence in the corner. Shot doesn't go. Little scramble there for the rebound, but it's eventually going to fall into the hands of Craddock, who's going to feed it up to German. German's going to give it in the corner to Simcoe. Back to German in the corner, doubling German. Verdale has the ball at the top of the key. A steal by Chris Marshall. He's breaking away, and he's going to slam it home. Another one for Chris Marshall. Gets that Redbank Valley bench a little lively right now as it's 14-10 Clarion. We're going to have our second foul of the first quarter here. And it's really obvious that any time that you have anybody that's capable of dunking in high school, it can be a massive momentum changer.
Yeah, and he actually had some pressure with the defense.
He
there.
did.
He was coming up behind him, and he still was able to bring it home.
Craddock's going to sink the first free throw. You're not seeing double. Both Klaus twins are checking in right now. Mason and Owen, Klaus checking in. Pence and Maganotti are going to go to the bench. So for Redbank Valley, you have Klaus, Marshall, Bain, and Gardlock. As Craddock is good for the second one, so it's 16-10. Clarion pressuring, at least Verdale is pressuring, almost forces a timeout there. or a turnover there, excuse me. Gardlock at the top. He's going to feed it over to Klaus. Klaus gives it back to Gardlock. Feed it inside to Marshall. Marshall's going to put the ball on the floor. He's going to drive baseline, and they're going to say that his foot hit the baseline, and it's going to go the other way. Clarion basketball.
Throughout the evening, we will be giving updates to the Redbank Valley Lady Bulldogs basketball team. They are at Karn City tonight. They started a little bit early, or in the varsity game, so we should have updates throughout the game. And
nice spin move by Verdil there. Pushed the lead to 18-10. So we talked about how slam dunks in high school can definitely be momentum changers, but Clarion has definitely weathered that and taken it the other way of any hope of a momentum changer. Verdil misses the layup. Klaus with the rebound, fed up, and German showing off the athleticism with the steal, and he's going to take it and lay it up and in. So Clarion has once again doubled up Redbank Valley, 20-10 right now.
German really smooth with the ball.
Yeah,
I mean,
very smooth, very instinctual, very athletic.
Update from Karn City. The Redbank Valley Lady Bulldogs team leads 9-5 at the end of one. Redbank up 9-5 down at Karn City. It's like we had a kick call there.
So 20-10 Clarion here, just over a minute left in the first quarter. Bain's going to inbound it to Pence. Pence going to take the three from the corner, and Pence is going to hit it for his first tray of the evening. So 20-13 Clarion, just hit the 1 minute mark of the first quarter. Nice drive and take there by Simcoe. Simcoe was fed by German, who drove himself, and a self-inflicted turnover there by Redbank Valley as the pass goes out of bounds on the inbound. So German's going to inbound under Clarion's hoop. He's going to throw it in to Smale. Redbank Valley's going to get that back, so basically back to net zero on that turnover as Redbank Valley takes it back. Bain's at the top of the key with 38 seconds left in the first. He's going to swing it over to Klaus, back to Bain. Bain's going to take the long three, not going to go. German with the rebound, feeding it to Verdil, and Verdil's going to throw down himself.
Back to back.
Wow.
When was the last time you
We've
saw
seen a few dunks here.
That game, one for each team.
We've seen a few dunks here this season, but that's the first time we've seen an opponent respond with it. So interesting for sure. Redbank Valley's going to get the offensive rebound there, but it's going to turn it over. Clarion's going to come down with one final shot here in the first, and Verdil's going to take it. He's going to hit it. So what an exclamation point there for Clarion at the end of the first as they push the lead to 14, 27-13.
Scoring in the first quarter, Redbank had 5 baskets made. 3 of them were three-pointers. Marshall leads with 5. Pence and Maganotti each with 3. Gardlock with 2. For Clarion, it is German leading with 8. Verdil with 7. Simcoe with 5. And Craddock with 7 as well for a 27-13 lead. And we talked before off air, Blaine. Redbank is a team that even if they do get down, which, down 14 after 1 for a lot of teams, hard to come back, Redbank can score a lot of points in a very short period of time.
Yeah, they can, and I think that both of these teams have the capability of doing that. In the first matchup there, actually, when Marshall fouled out, Redbank Valley went on a little bit of a run in the fourth quarter to cut it to 10, but that was all the closer that they could get it. So even though they have the capability of scoring a bunch in a flurry, this Clarion team's not a team that you want to fall too far behind against because they have the athleticism to score in a flurry as well. Marshall at the top of the key, he's going to take the three. It's going to be short. He's going to get his own rebound. He's going to give it to Gardlock in the corner. Gardlock's going to dribble baseline, then feed it to Bain to give it to Mansfield. And Mansfield with his first bucket of the night for 2.
Nice feed inside by Bain.
So for Redbank Valley on the floor to start the second, we have Maganotti, Bain, Gardlock, Marshall, and Mansfield. For Clarion, you have German, Verdill, Smale, Craddock, who just hit the jumper, and Simcoe. So this first 2 possessions of the second exchange buckets. Another steal by German, a behind-the-back pass to Verdill. Verdill's going to take the 3, and he's going to hit the 3. So Clarion most certainly firing on all cylinders right now, for sure. Marshall's going to drive. He's going to feed it out to Gardlock at the base, not going to go. And since that, no, they called a push there on Black, so it's going to stay underneath for Redbank Valley. Yes, it will, as Bain approaches the baseline to inbound. Bain inbounds to Mansfield, who feeds it over to Marshall, who swings it to Gardlock. Gardlock with a short jumper, and it rings around and goes. 32-17, Clarion. German brings the ball up the floor. Gardlock guarding him. Gardlock with the deflection and the steal. Gardlock and Bain 2-on-1 down the floor. And Gardlock's going to go up, and he's going to be fouled. Gardlock slow to get up, but does make his way to the free throw line. Gardlock went down hard on that attempted layup.
Yeah, it looked like he slipped a little bit there on the floor.
Yeah,
Blaine.
Clarion coach Scott Fox obviously doesn't agree with the call. Thought that his defender got all ball, which was called on Dawson Smale, his first of the game. Clarion's second.
High-scoring game here in New Bethlehem. Down in Carson City, we have a very low-scoring game as Redbank is up 16-13 at the half.
Wow.
So only 29 points scored by both teams at halftime there. Up here, Clarion already has 32.
Gardlock misses the first. His second one does not go either. Mansfield gets the rebound, though. Feeds it back out to Marshall. Marshall gives it to Bain, who gives it back to Marshall, who gives it back to Bain. Bain's going to put on the floor, dribble. Marshall's going to drive. Bain with the long 3 does not go, but Maginati with the rebound, and he puts it up and in. And Clarion here a little bit getting Redbank Valley at their own game as
Looks
Verdill.
a lot like what Redbank was doing to teams earlier in the season.
Verdill kind of snuck away without being noticed down, and German used that all-state quarterback arm to get the ball to Verdill to lay it in for 2 to match Redbank Valley's 2. Gardlock drives the baseline. He gets it to fall. 34-21 Redbank Valley, and it looks like Clarion did inbound the ball there.
Good hustle from Redbank.
Yeah, and it looked like a Clarion player was not expecting it. The ball was deflected. Marshall did get the ball, but he stepped on the sideline as he did that. In the meantime, Burford has checked in for his first action of the game. Burford, another All-State football player.
Well-known name down here in Redbank Valley is Burford's both parents are alumni of Redbank, both good athletes here, Brian and Laura Burford.
So at this time with Mansfield, Burford, German, and Verdill on the floor, 4 first team, not necessarily first team, but 4 all-state football players on the floor. So again, not just all-conference basketball players, but standout multi-sport athletes. Marshall has the ball. He's going to swing it back to Bain. Bain's going to dribble. He's going to give it back to Marshall. Marshall's going to give it to Gardlock in the corner. Back to the top to Bain. Looks to take a shot, but puts it on the floor instead. Back to Marshall. Down to Gardlock. Attempts to feed it into Maginati. It's deflected. Gardlock gets the rebound, takes it, doesn't go. Mansfield tips the ball to Bain. Inside to Gardlock. Too strong. So Gardlock had a good look there, just went up a little too strong underneath. And it's going to be Clarion basketball here with approaching the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. So it's a 13-point lead for the Wildcats as Burford's going to inbound it to Smale. Smale's going to bring it up the floor. Bryson Bain's going to meet him at the top of the key. He's going to feed it out to German. Gardlock in German's face. 3-point shot by German does not go. The putback attempt, though, by Smale what looked to be deflected was actually called a foul there on Joe Mansfield, his first. Redbank Valley's third. Smale's going to go to the line, and the first one is going to go. 35-21 Clarion.
Should note, Blaine, Dawson Smale listed as a freshman.
Okay,
For the
impressive.
Bobcats.
Smale's second shot is true as well. So 36-21 Clarion. Garlock's going to drive the length of the floor, dish it to Marshall, who gets it out to Bain. Bain's shot does not go. Give it back to Marshall. Marshall's going to take the three. That doesn't go either. Smale with the rebound is going to feed it to German, and German's going to get the floater to fall. Fair to say, Matt, that Cal German's the real deal.
Yeah, I've never seen him in person play either sport, seen his name in the paper, and he definitely lives up to all the recognition he's received throughout his high school career.
Marshall's going to take the three. It's not going to go, and we have a fight for the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to call it off of White. So that's going to be Wildcat basketball going the other way. Just under the 4-minute mark here in the second quarter, 38-21. So Clarion's built a 17-point lead here as we approach halftime. Smale, the freshman with the ball, feeds it to the top of the key to Verdale, who gives it inside to German. He's going to make a move and drive and get another floater to
Nice
fall.
little backdoor there, move by German.
Bain inbounds to Marshall. Marshall brings it down the floor. He's going to make a move. He's going to drive, and he got the bucket to fall, but they're going to call a charge on Marshall. They're going to say that the Clarion defender had his feet planted. He had his chunk of floor there, and the charge on Marshall, which is Marshall's second, Redbank Valley's fourth. So Clarion with the ball. Burford is going to give it up to Simcoe. Simcoe's going to feed it over to German. German's going to drive, step back. Jumper hits rim once, hits twice, falls into the hands of Bryson Bain. Bain feeds it to Marshall. Marshall's going to give it to Gardlock. Back to Bain. Ball's going to be deflected, but it's going to be deflected back to Bain. Inside to Maganotti. Ball deflected again, back to Pence. Over to Gardlock. Gardlock's going to dribble between his legs, behind his back. Over to Pence. Back to Bain. Bain's shot does not fall, but Bain follows his shot, gets the rebound. Fed over to Gardlock. Gardlock's going to dribble. Maganotti's going to take the attempt at the three, and Maganotti's going to get his second three of the night.
One positive here, Blaine. Redbank's still getting numerous offensive rebounds, giving themselves second chances.
So it's a 16-point game here with 2:23 left in the second. German's going to feed it over to Verdale. Verdale with Maganotti guarding him. Simcoe with the ball, with Marshall on him. Back to the top with German as we approach the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. German's going to drive to his left, and a really nice move by German as he switched hands, laid it up with his right hand. Marshall's going to come down with the three. It's not going to go.
German waved everyone out of the paint to give him one-on-one, and he was able to take
He got him
advantage
one-on-one,
of it.
and he won that battle. German's going to bring the ball up the floor. Gardlock guarding him. Burford, Pence on Burford. Feed it over to Smale.
Clarion in a little weave here. Looks like they might actually be trying to take the last shot of the first half.
Smale's going to give it to German. A nice punch out by Gardlock. Marshall looking for the quick pass to Gardlock, but Clarion a good job dropping back. Gardlock's three doesn't go, but he gets his rebound that was tipped by Marshall. Layup doesn't go. Gardlock on German. It's going to be turned over. Gardlock's going to give it to Marshall. Marshall's going to drive. He's going to lose control of the ball, but get it to Pence in the corner. Pence shot isn't going to go. So just under a minute left.
Couple turnovers in a row by German. He is human. It looks like
Yeah.
he's a little tired right now. He's going to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, and obviously the guard lock, as far as man-to-man defense goes, is Redbank Valley's top defender. So they're matching 2-on-2. There is another shot falls for Clarion, which is going to push the lead here to 20, as Redbank Valley's probably going to get the last shot here of the first half. Guard lock with the ball. He's going to give it over to Bain. Bain looks to take the long three, but does not take it. Gardlock's going to feed it down to Marshall, who's going to drive the baseline, give it out to Bain. Bain's going to take the three. It's not going to go. Going to give it to German, and Clarion will get the last shot here. German dribbles just before the horn, takes the shot, does not go. So at the half, Clarion has raced out to a 20-point lead with 44 points here in the first half. It's 44-24. Clarion over Redbank Valley. Matt's going to run down the points for the first half, and then we will rejoin you with about 2 minutes left in halftime.
Leading the Redbank Valley Bulldogs tonight, Owen Maganotti leads with 8, Marquise Gardlock with 6, Chris Marshall with 5, Landon Pence with 3, and Joe Mansfield with 2. Scoring for Clarion, both Cal German and Bo Verdeel have 14 each in the first half. Hunter Craddock with 9, Christian Simcoe with 5, Dawson Smale with 2, and 1 dunk each for Redbank and Clarion. So we'll be back here in about 7 minutes.
Here at Redbank Valley to kick off the second half. We're under a minute here to get the third quarter started. Obviously, Matt, if you're Clarion, you're pretty happy with that first half. If you're Redbank Valley, you're not. Sometimes you kind of have that balance where you have a close game and both teams are pretty happy with how they're playing, but you could tell as both teams exited the floor that one team was pretty happy, the other team was not.
Yeah, I will have to say, though, Blaine, one of the positives I'm going to look at in the first half for Redbank actually is Bryson Bain not scoring, because that is not going to continue. He's averaging 20 points a game, so you got to assume here in the second half he's going to
at some point he's going to get his
score, between 10 and 20 here in the second half.
Yep. And I think that it's safe to say that Redbank Valley is going to need that if they're going to find a way to get back into this game down 20. They're definitely going to need Bain.
Yeah, you don't keep a player like Bryson Bain off the score sheet for too much longer.
So speaking of Bain, he's going to start with the ball, inbounded from Marshall's, feeds it over to Marshall, and it's going to be a steal by Verdil. Verdil's going to take it, and so it looked like it was possibly going to be a foul called on Bain, but it was not. Bain got a ball. As the ball was deflected out of bounds off of Bain, it's going to remain Clarion ball. German's going to swing it over to Simcoe. Simcoe's going to get it in the corner. It's going to make its way back to German. German's going to make a move and drive, and it will not fall. Maganotti with the rebound for Redbank Valley as Bain pushes the ball up the floor into Marshall. Marshall's jumper does not go. He gets his own rebound. Feeds it out to Bain. Bain's thinking about the three, doesn't take it, puts the ball on the floor. Feeds it over to Marshall, over to Maganotti in the corner. He's going to give it, and a little bit of, as we were holding our breath, not certain what was going to happen there with some cross passes almost intercepted, but the ball makes its way into guard lock for two. 44-26, Clarion. German brings the ball up, swings it over to Smale, back to German, back to Smale. Smale's going to feed it inside, and it's going to make its way out to the corner. Simcoe's shot does not go, and the rebound and the drive by Verdil doesn't go either. Rebound Redbank Valley. Bain's going to drive the floor, feed it to Marshall. So 4-0 start here to start the third quarter for Redbank Valley, 44-28. 20-point leads cut to 16. German with the ball at the top of the key. Coach Fox for Clarion kind of giving a calm down, slow it down sign for Clarion. German has the ball again, feeds it over, nearly taken away by Redbank Valley. Simcoe's drive and shot doesn't go. Feed it to Marshall, there to guard lock, and it goes. So Redbank Valley the last couple possessions has gotten the opportunity to open up kind of that free and the run and gun.
If this would have went the other way, down 26 to start the second half, that's tough to come back. But 6-0 run for the Bulldogs, got it within 14.
Yeah, you really don't, obviously you never want to say it's good to be down 16 there, but obviously Clarion had the chance there to push that to a 22-24 point lead right off the bat. Redbank Valley got some stops and is in the midst of a 6-0 run here to start the third. German's going to bring the ball back to the middle for Clarion. Looks like we have Bain and Marshall at the top on German. He goes to the left where Gardlock and Bain both swarm. It's going to be fed over to Smale, Bain and Marshall. Verdil is going to drive. It's going to be stolen by Gardlock, and pretty impressive takeoff speed by Gardlock there, Matt. He started and he split two defenders, took it down the floor, and drew the foul.
Again, great defense for the Bulldogs. You got to assume Clarion's getting ready to call a timeout here sooner or later.
Yeah, Gardlock with the chance here to cut the lead to 12 for Redbank Valley. Excuse me, cut the lead to 14 for Redbank Valley. His first one is true. It's a 15-point game. And Gardlock's second shot is true as well.
Got it down to 12, Blaine. One possession at a time.
12-point game. And just as you called it, Matt, timeout there by Clarion as Redbank Valley has opened on an 8-0 run here to start the second half.
Yeah, and looking at this Clarion team, Blaine, I mean, a quality team that has most of their kids back from last year's district title runner-up. They were the 4 seed last year. They actually played Keystone here, if you remember that. Keystone was the number 1
Packed
seed.
house.
Clarion upset Keystone. Clarion would go on to lose to Ridgeway in the finals, but then in the state tournament, Clarion actually won the first round. They beat Winchester Thurston, and then would get knocked out by Bishop Guilfoyle. So a quality
I remember
team here.
being at that Clarion Keystone game. I believe that our fire code is 850. I think there may have been like 852 there that night.
Great atmosphere, and that's what you want from high school
Yep.
sports. Unfortunately, we won't have quite that this year with the spectators limited, but we do have some in here, and with the playoffs, I'm not sure. Hopefully, maybe Governor Wolf can change that 10% to hopefully 20 or 25. But either way, we're playing sports. We do have some spectators in here, and really that's what it's about at this point.
So we're coming out of the timeout. It's going to be Clarion's basketball. It's going to be inbounded to German. He's going to feed it over to Verdill. Back to German. German is going to swing it to his left to Smale. It's going to make its way back to the top to Verdill, and it's going to be stolen, and it's going to be stolen back by Clarion. So a flurry of action there. Marshall had the steal, was trying to feed it to Gardlock. It was stolen back. And if you're Clarion, that's probably just what you wanted there, a little bit of a dagger.
We could have got it to within 10, maybe even single digits.
To kind of to halt that current momentum, pushes it back to 15. Another turnover there by Redbank Valley. Quick hand jabbing away that pass at an attempt to get it inside. German at the top of the key. Steal by Mansfield on what looked like to be a deflected pass. Marshall's going to bring the ball up, set up the offense. Bain's going to take the ball at the top of the key. He's going to dribble right to the top, and a really nice shot by Verdill. He's got a breakaway. He's going to spin. Not going to go. And it's going to be Simcoe with the rebound, and he's going to go up on his second effort, and he's going to be foul. He's going to head to the line, so that's going to be Chris Marshall's third, as we are exactly at the midway point of the third quarter.
You know, Blaine, we can talk about there's been quite a few turnovers in the game tonight, but I attribute it to great defense by both teams, just the athleticism.
There's been a lot of passes trying to get the ball inside to big men. We're trying to move the ball inside the paint, and hands just flying out of nowhere, deflecting passes. So quick hands, quick movements. Simcoe's first free throw is good. His second one is true as well. Landon Pence has checked into the game for Chris Marshall, who goes to the bench with 3 fouls. Gardlock with the ball at the top of the key, feeds it over to Pence. Down to the corner to Mansfield. Back to the top to Gardlock. Gardlock's going to dribble and drive to his left, feed it over to Maginati. Maginati's going to give it to Bain. Bain at the top of the key. He's going to give it to Gardlock. Bain's going to take the long three. Is not going to go. Off the back iron. Maginati's going to get the rebound. And White's going to get the timeout. So Coach Marshall gets the timeout in while Maginati was on the floor. You could tell Maginati was trying to get the ball to someone. Probably smart to hold on to it as he saw black flashing in front of his eyes as Clarion defenders were flashing in front. So last timeout we had, it was obviously Clarion calling the timeout to stop the momentum. That at that point was an 8-point game. That's been pushed back to 17 at this point for Clarion.
Switching over to some other sports here. Down at Karn City, upset brewing a little bit as Karn City leads the Lady Bulldogs 25-23 at the end of 3. Okay. And then tomorrow, don't forget all you wrestling fans, up in Clearfield, District 9 Championships, Redbank, 13 kids, probably one of the few teams that has a full lineup. Live, all 3 mats. If you go to facebook.com/MegaRock FM fan, you can watch everything starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
So it's going to be Redbank Valley basketball underneath their hoop. Same 5 on the floor as prior to the timeout. High lofted pass to Pence at the top of the key. He's going to give it to Bain. Bain's going to feed it inside to Maginati. Back to Bain. Bain's going to take the long 3, and he gets it to hit. And that's what we said to start the second half. Obviously, you're not going to keep Bain down for an entire game. And so he finally gets one of those shots to go. And hopefully for Bain, that kickstarts things. But German comes right back the other way and answers with it. And that's really something Clarion's been good at most of the night, basically equalizing those shots. Every time Redbank Valley gets one or possibly a big one, Clarion's back down the floor getting another one. Bain gets his second one in a row to go. So Bain cuts it to 14. Too strong for Craddock. Bain with the rebound. Bain's gonna bring it up. He's gonna take another three. He's not gonna go. It's gonna be rebounded by Simcoe. It's gonna be pushed by German. German's gonna feed it over to Verdale. Verdale's shot is not gonna go. Verdale's gonna get his own rebound, and they're gonna call the foul. Verdale is gonna head to the free throw line.
Pretty clean game, Lane. Only 3 fouls for the Bulldogs and only 1 for Clarion here in the second.
Yeah, that
half.
foul's going to be called on Mansfield. That's his second. So Verdale's going to head to the free throw line. His first shot is true.
That almost had negative arc, Blaine. I think that free throw there, that was...
Yeah. Verdale's second shot is true. So that's going to push it back to 16, 54 to 38. Clarion over Redbank Valley. Feeds it inside to Pence. Gardlock has it. It's going to swing it over to Bain. Bain 2 for his last 3-point attempts. And it's going to be stolen by Verdale. Verdale's going to basically slow it down a little bit, set things up at the top. Now it's going to be stolen by Bain. Bain making his way down the floor, feeds it over to Gardlock. Gardlock's going to drive, and he's going to get it to go for 2. So that's going to get Redbank Valley to 40 on the evening with 1:30 left in the third. Simcoe's going to drive, and he's going to get it to fall. So once again, Clarion answering. Gardlock with the ball, he's going to drive. Take's not going to go. Mansfield gets a hand on it, but's not able to pull it down. So Verdale's going to bring the ball up the floor. He's going to hand it off to Burford. Burford coming up, is going to swing it over to German. Really nice ball movement for Clarion there. Just couldn't finish it with Craddock.
Yeah, Verdale looking to just be a little too fancy there.
Yeah.
Caused the turnover. Self-inflicted on that one.
So it's going to be timeout Clarion. We have just under a minute left here in the third quarter. It's a 16-point lead for Clarion. Redbank Valley is going to be starting with the basketball here.
Looking ahead, Blaine, tomorrow, a game that was just added, I think, yesterday. The Bulldogs have to get up early tomorrow morning. They're heading up to Oil City for a 1 o'clock game. So quick turnaround after tonight's game to play a quality Oil City opponent who we played earlier in the year here at home. Very close game. I think Oil City won that game by 4 or 5.
Yeah. So that was so we lost one game this week with losing the Erie First matchup, but gained the Oil City matchup. So at the end of the week, they're still standing in the same spot of where they were at the beginning. Bain's going to inbound it to Gardlock. Gardlock's going to bring it across. Going to give it back to Bain. Bain's going to feed it over to Gardlock. He's going to drive. He's going to give it back to Bain. Back to Gardlock. Back inside to Pence. Maganotti for 3 is not going to go. And see who it hit off of last. They're going to say that it hit off of White last as that ball deflected just about back to half court and then went out of bounds. German's going to inbound it to Burford. Burford's going to dribble to his left, feed it over to Simcoe. Simcoe's going to give it back up to the top to German. German's going to give it back down to Simcoe. Verdale's with the ball. He makes a move inside, and it looks like they're going to get Mansfield again on the foul. It's going to send Verdale to the line with 24.6 seconds left here in the third. 56-40 Clarion.
2 Bulldogs in foul trouble now as Mansfield picks up his third as well.
Verdale's first shot goes. So Clarion with a chance here to push this to an 18-point lead entering the fourth quarter.
Clarion currently 10 of 11 from the free throw line.
Verdale's second one goes as well. So it's 58-40 Clarion. Redbank Valley, I imagine something crazy happening is going to get the last shot here of the third, and possibly that was almost that crazy as Burford showing his speed in deflecting that pass, but Marshall recovers to get the rebound. Bain at the top's going to take another one of his patent long threes. It's not going to go, and Clarion, in fact, will have the chance at the long shot. 3, 2, 1, not going to go. So in what started as a positive flurry for Redbank Valley, Clarion answered right back and put them back in the same situation that they were to start the third, up 18. Matt, what do we have for scoring?
Marquise Gardlock leading Redbank with 13. Marshall has 7. Maganotti has 8. Bryson Bain has 6. Landon Pence with 3. And Mansfield with 2. Looking down at Clarion, Cal German leading all scorers with 20 right now. Bo Verdale has 18. Christian Simcoe has 9. Hunter Craddock has 9 as well. And then Dawson Smale in with 2. Looking for updates down in Karn City. Don't have anything since that last update. Again, the last update we had from the girls' game, it was Karn City winning 25-23 in a low-scoring game. That was at the end of 3 down in Karn City.
All right, so we're going to start the fourth here. Again, an 18-point lead for Clarion.
Yeah, Blaine, I think you just got to take it one possession at a time. You know, it's got to be defense first. Either get a turnover, cause a tough shot, and then come down offensively, get a good shot, and continue to do that throughout the fourth quarter.
And so Verdale's going to take the shots, not going to go, and they're going to call the foul. Looks like that foul is going to be called on. It's either going to be called on Craddock or he was walking to the line. No, it's going to be called on Craddock, which would make sense because neither team in the shooting bonus at this point. Clarion with 4 fouls. No, Clarion with 2 fouls. Redbank Valley with 4 fouls. Gardlock bringing up the ball up the floor for Redbank Valley. He's going to give it to Bain. It's Bain, Gardlock, Marshall, Maganotti, and Pence on the floor for the Bulldogs. Gardlock's going to drive. He's going to get it to go. So that's going to add to his Bulldog high tally tonight. Coming the other way for Clarion, you have German, you have Verdale, you have Simcoe, you have Craddock, and you have Smale on the floor for the Bobcats. Simcoe gets the floater to drop for Clarion. So once again, as they've done all evening, Clarion has answered the Redbank Valley points. Bain with the ball at the top of key, feeds it inside to Chris. Chris with a post move, gets it to go. 60-44, Clarion. So I imagine probably within the next minute or two, Matt, Clarion's probably going to start slowing this down, force Redbank Valley to make the decision as to whether they're going to foul or not. But then again, with their quickness and speed and shooting ability, they may choose to just keep it turned up. And with that bucket, they push it back to 16 with Simcoe with another 2. Or 18, pardon me. Bain's going to take a long 3. It's going to be in and out off of the backboard. Maganotti's going to get the rebound. It's not going to go. German's going to come down the floor, fire up from the top of the key, and he's going to get it to go. 65-44. Inbound pass stolen by Verdale. So that's going to push Clarion to their biggest lead of the night at 23 with 6 minutes left. Marshall's going to take the 3. It's going to be in and out. Maganotti with the rebound, puts it on the
nice
floor
rebound
for one
by
dribble.
Maganotti.
Puts it up to his left. German bringing the ball up the floor against Pence. And they're going to call the foul on Pence.
I think that could have been a 5-second, Blaine. That was really good defense by Pence.
I think that's what Pence was upset about. He felt that he had I think what happened was Pence thought he had the 5-second call at the at the blow of the whistle and was surprised to hear that the call was against him. On an errant shot, Simcoe gets the rebound. That's Simcoe's third straight score on Clarion's trips down the floor. Gardlock's going to drive, feed it out to Maganotti in the corner. Shot's not going to go. Bain's going to get the rebound. He's going to fight inside, put it up, and that's going to send Bain to the line. 23-point lead for Clarion with 5:28 left in the third.
You know, at this point, Wayne, obviously you're playing against both Clarion and the clock, but you really want to finish strong either way. You have a game tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and you want to take what happens into the fourth quarter tonight into that game tomorrow at Oil City.
Yeah, I mean, you can carry positives or negatives over with you, but you're going to carry something, so you want to work at this point to carry over a positive. Obviously, you have your mind made up. You're not going to overcome a 22-point deficit in 5 minutes. But there's still a lot to play for, obviously a chance to pick up a win tomorrow. Verdale has the ball. He's going to give it to German. German's going to take the long three at the top. He's going to hit the front of the rim, but does not get the bounce. Gardlock's going to get the rebound. It's going to be deflected out of his hands, out of bounds on Clarion. So Gardlock's going to inbound to Marshall. It's going to roll it up the floor. Marshall's going to pick it up about 5 feet before the half-court line. It's going to make its way back to Gardlock, then back to Marshall. Marshall's going to give it over to Bain. Back to Marshall. Back to Gardlock at the top. Attempt to feed it inside to Payne is deflected and then stolen by Verdale.
Update from Karn City, a very low-scoring fourth quarter, only a minute left. Redbank now takes the lead 29-26, so they've held Karn City to 3 points in the fourth quarter.
So that's going to be Chris Marshall's 4th foul. 69-47. Mansfield's going to check into the game for Maganotti. Simcoe gets the rebound on the miss
there,
by Craddock. And it's going to be called a carry there by Clarion. So Marshall's going to inbound it to Gardlock. Gardlock's going to pick it up right about midcourt. He's going to feed it back over to Marshall. Marshall's going to dribble it his right, give it to Pence. Bain is going to hand it off to Marshall. Marshall looks to take the long three, but passes. Gives it to Gardlock, who feeds it across the floor to Pence, whose three does not go. And it looks like they're going to call a push on White.
I think that's on
Mansfield. Not your typical foul that you see in that situation. Looks like they're going to call that on Mansfield as well.
It's actually going to put Clarion to the line. That's 7 fouls for the Bulldogs. Clarion will be in the bonus.
And that is 4 fouls each for Marshall and Mansfield. And so at this point, this obviously puts you in a no-win situation for Redbank Valley, down 23, trying to take away possessions, but obviously aggressive play is going to send Clarion to the line. German sinks his first.
I was mistaken, Blaine. Actually, the Lady Bulldogs have held Karn City to 1 point in the first 7 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Impressive. German second shot goes as well. Mansfield's going to inbound it here to Bain. It's now a 24-point lead. Ball's going to be stolen. It looked like it was kicked. And you could definitely tell that Craddock was pulling up for that, got hand on the rim. Ball went in a little bit afterwards, but good hops, good effort there by Craddock.
Nice move by Marshall.
Yeah, we just said, too, you can take positives and negatives from this, at least from our vantage point. It still looks like, at this point, Redbank Valley still playing hard, hustling, driving hard to the hoop, and still fighting for turnovers.
Lady Bulldogs now up 31-26 with only 29 seconds left down in Karn City.
Marshall's first free throw is good. And second one does not go. Craddock with the rebound. Crack's going to take it the whole way. Floater doesn't go. Marshall gets the rebound, takes off the other way, but there's 3 Clarion defenders down there waiting for him, but he still finds a way to split the defenders and put it up for 2. 73-50 Clarion. German's going to feed it out to Burford, and Burford's going to hit. Is that Burford's first of the night?
Yeah, it is.
Once again, incredible job by Clarion tonight, answering almost everything. The only time that I can think of tonight that Clarion wasn't answering shots by Redbank Valley was during that little mini 8-0 run to start the second quarter. Gardlock's going to put up the 3. It's not going to go. German looks to heave it, but he keeps it down. He's going to dribble up the floor. Marshall's guarding him, and certainly looks like at this point Clarion looking to slow it down, or maybe not. I'll hold my breath. German started to drive and then backed it off, brought it back, but then drove again and laid it in for 2. So coming back the other way, Marquise Gardlock going to head to the foul line.
Blaine, looking ahead next week, busy schedule for both the boys and girls. Monday, we'll actually be here for senior night for the girls. No varsity, so senior night will take place at 6 o'clock against Forest. Tuesday, we're here as the boys host North Clarion. Wednesday, no home events, but the girls will actually go to Clarion. On Thursday, the boys will host Cranberry. That game originally was Wednesday. That's been moved to Thursday of next week. And then Friday, it looks like the boys play Friday, and Saturday the girls host Montauk here for a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, Gardlock is true for both of his free throws. Verdale with the ball inside. Ball's deflected, stolen by Marshall. Marshall's going to bring the ball up the floor. Feeds it over to Pence. Pence going to take the 3, not going to go, off the back of the iron. Bain with the rebound, can't get it to go, but Bain's going to steal the attempt to save the errant deflection by Clarion, and he's going to put it in for 2. 78-54 Clarion with exactly 2 minutes left in the fourth. German's going to drive, and he is going to be fouled.
I think that's 5 on Marshall.
Yeah,
Blaine.
so that's going to be Marshall's 5th. He's going to foul out. Maganotti's going to check in for Marshall. Ball almost sits on the rim there as German's first free throw does not go. German's second shot is true. 79-54. 1:56 left in the fourth. Pence is going to fire up the 3, not going to go. German is going to be fouled by Pence as he brings up the floor, so quick trip back to the line for German.
Final score from Karn City. Redbank Valley wins 34-26. Again, held Karn City to 1 point in the fourth quarter.
So it sounds like the girls survived some adversity down the stretch. Good effort by Karn City. And so that's still within KSAC play, correct? That our girls have still only the 2 losses to Punxsy. That's it?
Yeah, well, actually, Punksy's not even in the KSAC.
Okay.
So no losses in the KSAC for the Lady Bulldogs. Yeah.
And
Two
so, yeah,
losses in the district to
no
Punxsy.
losses in the KSAC, and Punxsy would be the only loss within their classification.
Correct. Yep.
So it's kind of, when you have a team like Punxsy, sometimes those 2 losses can overshadow a season, but without a doubt, a very impressive season that the girls are having. That losses are coming against bigger opponents as Bain hits the three that they didn't necessarily have to play, but they're beating the teams that are within their classification.
Yeah, both boys and girls, very impressive seasons this year. Don't forget, the boys were 5-17 last year, Blaine. So very impressive turnaround for the Bulldogs this year.
Maginotti's going to pull down the board for Redbank Valley as we approach a minute left here. Gardlock's going to have the ball at the top of the key. So it looks like they're going to call a foul on the floor against Gardlock. Not against Gardlock, but the foul committed against Gardlock. The foul is going to be against Alston. That's going to send Gardlock to the line, but not before a timeout is taken by Clarion. 58 seconds left.
I will say, Blaine, I love what you just heard from the official. There's nothing worse than a call and no one knows what the call was. That official,
very emphatic.
Yes. Everyone in the gym knows exactly what just happened. Nothing wrong with that. So, Blaine, we'll be wrapping things up here shortly after the game, but we do want to say good luck to the Bulldog wrestling team tomorrow. We really haven't talked much about them as all the matches have been canceled lately, but a great season from them as well. 8-1. Only lost was to the powerful AAA DuBois team, sending a full squad of 13 wrestlers up to Clearfield tomorrow. So good luck to the individual wrestlers, and the top 4 teams points-wise tomorrow qualify for the team tournament that'll be held towards the end of March. So good luck to Coach Kundick and the Bulldog wrestling team.
I'm sure the wrestlers are more than ready to go. It has been 2 straight weeks of practices, so finally they get on the mat with someone that's not their teammate. So we have just under a minute left here at Redbank Valley. It's 58.7 seconds left in the game. It scores Clarion 80, Redbank Valley 57. Marquise Gardlock on the line for Redbank Valley. His first of the 1-and-1 is true, so that will earn him the bonus shot. And the second shot is a true. So Clarion's going to bring the ball up with 58 seconds left. Smale with the ball. He's going to hand it off to Alston. Excuse me. He's going to feed it down to Smale, who's going to feed it out the other way, and it's just going to go out of bounds. In the meantime there for Clarion, during that timeout, they had Dante Gervin check into the game, as well as freshman Gabe Simcoe.
Yeah, Gervin,
so
a real
Gervin
known wrestling name
as
in
well.
Clarion. We actually have a Gervin playing basketball.
Bain gets another one of his patent long threes to fall, so 80-62. Clarion's going to bring the ball up. You can hear their coach screaming, slow it down. And it looked like Gardlock had the steal, but they're going to call a jump ball, so that ball is going to be inbounded. Going to be given to Gardlock. Gardlock's going to drive the baseline, not going to go. Rebound, Clarion. And it looks like Clarion at this point in Redbank Valley is going to be satisfied to let them dribble it out. And actually, we're going to have Alston just hold the ball until that final horn sounds. So the final score here from Redbank Valley is going to be 80-62 Clarion. So Clarion with another impressive victory in their second matchup and what will be their final matchup of the year against Redbank Valley. So, Matt, what do you have for point totals?
Leading scorers for the Bulldogs tonight, Marquise Gardlock had 19. Bryson Bain in with 16, all 16 in the second half, and we talked about that earlier. He started to get hot in the second half. Chris Marshall in with 12. Owen Maginotti with 10. Landon Pence with 3. Joe Mansfield with 2. For Clarion, leading scorer and leading scorer of the game, Cal German with 29 points for Cal German. Ethan Burford in with 3. Bo Verdeel in with 22. Christian Simcoe in with 13. Hunter Craddock in with 11, and Dawson Smell in with 2.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up here tonight for Redbank Valley. Again, make sure you check in to the wrestlers tomorrow via Mega Rock. And I believe that Oil City Athletics has a YouTube page where you can search and you can check in to watch the boys in action tomorrow. Have a great weekend, and we will be back with you Monday.